What's going on, everybody? My name is Kevin Denia and welcome to my channel Superpower Review. On today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Spawn statue made by McFarlane Toys. Alright guys, before we get into today's review, I want to remind you guys to please smash that like button if you like today's content. Comment some feedback in the comment section down below. Do you have this statue slash action figure in your collection? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. And lastly, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. So I was over at my brother's house over the weekend and he was like, hey, you want to see my new Spawn statue that I got? And I was like, yeah, of course I do. So he showed it to me and I was like, man, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. So I asked him where he got it from. He said he got it from GameStop. So after that, I pretty much called every GameStop in the area until I found one. So I was really happy to end up finding one. And when I took this thing out of the package and really got to, look at it on my own, I was really pumped. So here we have a Mortal Kombat 12-inch Commando Spawn statue made by McFarlane Toys. Now, there's a lot of confusion in the community if this is a statue or an action figure, and again, we're gonna break that down. So let's break it down here. I'm gonna take them off of the base because we're gonna start off with the base, and there's really nothing too much spectacular with the base. So the base is absolutely humongous, and we have a Mortal Kombat logo on the base, and you have one little leg peg right there, okay? And that's all you really need for this statue, because on this statue, Spawn has this absolutely huge big boot on him, and that lays pretty much flat. So with that one little peg on the stand, you can, they're both two peg holes that you can use. I use the left leg here because, like I said, with this big boot that Spawn has, he pretty much stands pretty flat. So we can put him on the base like so, and he's good, okay? So here's the thing, all right? It's designed as a statue, but also has movement like an action figure, okay? The articulation that you have for this is he can move his waist, okay? It's pretty stiff, but you can move the waist. That's pretty much all you have there, okay? You have some movement in his wrist here where he's holding the gun. The gun does come out, okay? We'll get into the gun. He has a little bit of movement here in the hand, not too much movement. All right. He also comes with this. We'll get into the accessories later. He has some movement in his wrist in this hand as well. Okay, so his left hand. And you can move the arm at the elbow joint like this. Okay, let me move my hand out of the way so you can see. And then the last piece of articulation that you have on the figure is his head. Okay, so you can move it to the right like so. Okay, which would actually be a pretty cool pose maybe. And you can move it to the left. I have it toward the left of the hand, so where he's holding the Necroplasm Blast. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the articulation that you have on this figure. I don't like moving his hips or his waist because it messes up with the emblem on his little, I don't know, his cock piece, his armored cock piece that he has. So I like to kind of like match it up together. Like so, all right? I think that would be pretty ideal right there. So like I said, that's pretty much all the articulation that you have with this statue slash action figure, whatever it is. So the pieces that it does come with a gun. I think the gun looks pretty cool. It could be a little more detailed, I think. It has some red paint on here, but depending on the way you display the statue, I have it toward I have them displayed more like this, so you're not going to really see the gun as much, but it does come with the gun. I think the gun is pretty cool, but my favorite piece of accessory is this Necroplasm Blast. So it's kind of has like a translucent feel to it. I would really love to kind of like customize this on my own and put a light on his hand so this kind of glows a little bit and show some light effect. I think that would look really cool, but it does come with that as well, and it does have a little peg on it. That's how it fits into his hand, okay? So that's all the accessories that he comes with. Again, he is 12 inches tall. I really love how he's designed here. So again, this is the Commando Spawn that you see in Mortal Kombat 11. I think he looks really cool, man. I love the design of him. I love the armor plating that he has on his suit, so it's not very, it's not like the symbiote look that you would see in like a classic Spawn. You kind of do see it in the sculpt of his head, actually. So if I take him off of the base, you can see like the the ridges on his head. So somewhat very symbiotic looking. So I love the armor. I love the little grenades that he has on his belt here. He's all armored up and ready to go. My favorite thing, really, to be honest, other besides this huge boot on his leg, and unfortunately, it's on the back of him, but I love the cape and cowl. I mean, look at that, huh? I just love the texture of it. So this is sort of made out of like a very soft plastic. You can move it around. It won't break if you move it around like so. So it's pretty flexible. So the gun fits in his hand pretty easily, actually. It just fits in just like so, and just as easy with the Necroplasm Blast too. That peg just goes right in his hand, like so. So this is how I pretty much have him displayed. So I have him displayed with his face turned, looking at the necroplasm. We can make this a little more flat, like so. And that's pretty much how I have them displayed. So this is what confuses me, okay? You know, when McFarlane Toys makes anything of a figure, it's a toy and it has articulation. This has a lot of people perplexed because this is more of a statue than anything. And so when people buy this thinking that it's an action figure and then they see the lack of articulation that this figure has, they get really disappointed. So I'm not a huge toy collector, right? I'm a pretty big statue collector. So I bought this with the aspects of it being a statue with some articulation. I was actually thinking like, oh, this is really cool. You know, it is a statue, but I can have some movement on it. But here's some of the thinking that I have as well. So this is another perspective of mine. If McFarlane Toys was going to make him this stiff with this amount of articulation, I think they should have just made it posed already like this or sculpted just like this without the articulation. I think that's what they should have done because, you know, you really don't have many options other besides just this one here. I mean, you can have like him looking off to the side with the necroplasm, like that's kind of cool too. So, you know, you do have options, but they're just very limited. And again, what I'm trying to get at is that they should have just made it one pose, all one piece, no articulation whatsoever. But maybe a good amount of fans probably would have not bought that because, again, when McFarlane Toys comes out with something, it's a toy and people are expecting a articulated figure. But I gotta say, man, I'm really happy with it. That's why I picked it up right away. I thought it was really cool. I was like, man, I don't have any Spawn figures in the collection. I would really love to have this. And that's why I ended up buying it. And the other reason why I did snag it is because I think it's pretty good for the price. Again, a lot of people who are into the action figure world think it's pretty expensive. But again, if you're looking at it as a statue perspective, I think it was a good price. You can find this at GameStop for 40 bucks, so $40 retail. So I really don't think that's really that bad considering what statues go for. So again, it's all depends on what perspective you're looking at it. If you're looking at it as an action figures perspective, it's not the figure for you, but if you're looking at it as a statue perspective, I would buy this piece all day, especially if you're a Spawn fan like me. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Again, smash that like button if you like today's content. Let me know in the comment section what you feel about this figure slash statue, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here and if you want to see more statue or action figure reviews. I'm Kevin Vidini for Superpower Review, and I'll see you guys next time.